We have Conway Ling from Artivest. So Conway, give us your best elevator pitch.
So the quick summary is we are a investment platform technology for alts. So this means on one side we have private equity and hedge funds, other private funds, the other side we have qualified investors. Investors can take the form of either individuals, advisors, independent broker-dealers, or wirehouses. So we create the pipes and plumbing to connect this piece. I'd say the interesting part about this is like it's not just kind of making the current process more efficient, but because we do, it actually opens up a much wider audience that can take advantage of this. I'd say at the top of the house, the problem is basically getting superior investment returns for the consumer. So there's a couple trends happening now. One is a big trend towards passive investing. So just that alone makes it difficult to beat the market. There was also there was an article a couple days ago in the Wall Street Journal that was identifying there's actually fewer public equities available than there were maybe 5 years ago. So again, this also makes it challenging to beat the metrics or the indices. So one of the last bastions was really in the private funds place, and you see institutions have been taking advantage of this for decades. So in many ways, similar to how you'd say an E-Trade or Charles Schwab brought institutional equity trading into the consumer space in the 80s, or Vanguard brought institutional index trading into the retail space in the 90s. We really feel our tools and our pipes and plumbing can help bring the private equity, hedge fund, the private fund trading into the retail space as well. I'd say there's two phases there, or two pieces there. And one is if you look at the size of the market, so people that use alternatives, high net worth use alternatives. In 2005 was probably less than $500 billion there. We expect in the next 3 years to be over $4.5 trillion there. So it's reached a certain scale where there's an opportunity for asset managers to actually raise money from there. The challenge is that the difference between institutions and retail is basically you go from few large checks to many small checks. So a good example of that problem is when you only have 50 investors, you can actually negotiate a separate contract with each investor. When you have 500 investors, you pay $100,000 in legal fees for $100,000 investment, and that just doesn't work. So we've created the process to make that thing scalable, and that really combining that with technology is where the idea came from. Kind of similar to the last answer, I feel technology is really the piece that helps us. So if you think of financial services, I think there's kind of two aspects to it, and they really take two different skill sets. One is a very human aspect, so the art of investing, also relationship management, forming relationships. That's a very not a very scalable process. The other part of financial services is much more commoditized. That is basically a dollar bill is a dollar bill. So so we use technology to scale up that part and then allow other people that thrive on the human part to be able to combine with us.
All right.